Okay, so I'm live, and today what I'm going to talk about is how I think that the enemy would take over the world. And this is based on my life experiences. Basically, read the description. I'm not trying to make anything bad come to life. I know some people say that, oh, you're so powerful. You watch how you think. You're gonna make things come to life. No, this is just based off of experiences that I would not want to occur and just things that I have seen. And I'm gonna say paranoia that I believe because I feel like that makes everybody feel safer when you say that you have some type of paranoia problem instead of this is what I think, this is what's happening, or whatever. So hopefully it is a paranoia. What I think the enemy would do, and it's like showing me something, so I'm gonna share it with you people, or I'm gonna share it. It's like, okay, say I come from a far place where the world is very populated, more than where I stay now. So you're talking like, you know, those places. Okay, so say that I acquire a lot of money and the people that are on my team acquire a lot of money. So what I do for this silent war in this strategic way is I place my people in places. This is kind of dangerous to say, but I just feel like I have to say it because, and I'm not provoking anything or starting anything. This is just my opinion. So I would place these people in certain places where it would look innocent, right? So I buy out, let's just use an example, grocery stores. My people buy out this grocery store, major brand grocery stores, right? That a lot of people go to. And then, I don't know, it's just, it's like I said, it's a paranoia that I have. And then, like, they start doing things like behind the scene, like, um, watching what you buy, maybe things to the food. Maybe they start like distributing their own food within that brand, and then they start hiring the people that they want within that brand. Like they hire their group of people, and their group of people is actually different than the people who live in that land. And so it's like they don't buy any of the groceries, they just sell it to those people. So you never know if the food is safe or good, or certain products are safe or good, because you never see them actually consuming the product. So this way they can do certain things to certain products and then make up reasons why people are sick, and then cause things to happen and say that, oh, it's just something viral going around. And I'm not talking about, I'm just talking about with any massive things. I'm not talking about any particular thing that has already happened. But I just have this paranoia that people have the power to put stuff in people's food, and like more people from other places are buying out grocery stores and like hiring their people, like there's a secret war. Like people say, oh, we like this place, we love this place, we love y'all people, but actually they're like buying a bunch of our land and locations and franchises, and mainly grocery stores in my mind, and like actually doing things to certain products and watching certain people and targeting some of those certain products, and then it's causing people to like get sick. And then if the majority of people rely on grocery stores, but now all of these outsider people have bought those things, then if something tragic happens, like what's gonna happen? Like, we go shop at their grocery stores, hopefully they have good stuff, hopefully they have something, but we're still giving them a bunch of money. or like they just don't eat the way that we eat. I don't know. I just feel that way. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel that way because like certain places that I've gone to and I've seen certain people, I'm not gonna say what type of people, it's like I've eaten the food and my chest like just starts hurting. And it's only when I see like, I'm not gonna say only, but it's been a couple of times where it's these particular people. But I felt like other people can do the same thing too. Like they have, my friend used to say that they put special stuff on the shelf for certain people. So, like, for instance, the example I gave is I went and got some Fritos. People know I do not eat Fritos by themselves. So then I go to Fiesta because that's the only store I was going to at the time. And the detective comes over like, oh, what did she get? Run the camera back. Oh, she got some Fritos. Oh, okay, I know where she's going. I know what she's doing. Put the chili on the shelf because we know she got chili. She likes chili. We didn't already prepare the kind she liked. Put it on the shelf. I go consume that and my fucking chest starts hurting after I eat that shit. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like my chest never hurts when I eat that fucking chili. But now my chest is hurting and I seen that person go to that store and check it out. Like, why is that investigator or patrol always suddenly going to that store now? That gas station, they weren't going to that gas station until I started going there. I never seen them there before. Seem like you talking to the cashier or something. Why are you talking to the cashier, asking them what am I buying? And I seen him go to the grocery stores I go to. What are you telling them? What's going on? Are you putting stuff on the shelf? And how wide can this spread? If you got a group of people against certain people. So I don't know. It just turned into this big thing in my head, thinking that like people from other places are buying grocery stores out and buying gas stations out to where we have to completely depend on them. And like there's hardly any Americans that are owning these places anymore. And so we're in their hands. So if anything happens, we have to depend on them, and they can secretly, silently, actually be at war with us and drop us any day if they want to, because now they're in control of all of those places that are important to us, such as the grocery store and the gas station. Unless you're growing your own crops and riding on horses, then what's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I feel. And I just felt like I had to say it because, you know, I just thought of like Malcolm X. I thought of Malcolm X, then I thought to myself, like, he was trying to like be on this spiritual mission. And once he found out certain things when he was on this spiritual mission, it caused a lot of problems because they were saying that basically he was going to expose them and they wanted to get rid of Malcolm X because of that. And I believe that Malcolm X started to talk more because he felt like these people were actually after his life. Because why not just leave and get away from those people and change, your spiritual mission, whatever you're doing. If you know these people are dangerous, why even deal with them? Why bring it up? Why talk about them? Why not just move and get out of there? I think it's because he felt like these people were already after his life. And so he had to disclose why people were going to be after his life so that if anything actually happened to him, he was revealing, he was solving the case. He was letting people know, hey, man, these people are after me because I know this secret. I know this thing. So if I end up, whatever happened, this is what it was. So it's like I feel like certain people get to the point where it's like they don't actually want to say anything, but because they feel like their life is such at stake and at a threat, they go ahead and start talking about everything that they know. And it's like some people try to act like, oh, well, I'm gonna do worse things to you so you can shut up. and that's going to make you obey and not listen, and I'm going to instill fear. But for some people, it doesn't work that way. It actually works the opposite way. And because of the fear, they actually start explaining and telling everything that they're going through. And they start, exposing things that they're seeing because of the fear, and not the opposite way around. Oh, they're bullying me, they're scaring me, so I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to retreat. It's like, no. For some people, it's going to do the exact opposite. And it's like, today I got triggered because the smell that I smelt in this house that made me sick a couple years ago, I smelt on a certain culture of people, and it really like gave me PTSD. And I started talking about how people were breaking in the house and how they were bringing that smell in the house, and how I know that it's them now because I've had confirmation more than once on that particular group of people or tribe, whatever you want to call it, culture of people, that it's them. I don't smell anybody else that smells like that. They're the only ones that smell like that. And the smell is so distinct. That was the exact smell that was in the house. I'm like, man, why would y'all come in the house that I stay in? What would y'all be doing in there? Why was y'all roaming around in this house? And I connected the fact that some of these groceries, at times when these people were massively stalking me and following me, like I was talking about, the one person from the culture had came in there and stayed in there for 30 minutes and only bought a piece of bubble gum and got in line after I got in line, right? Um, Also, the fact that after these people come in the house, my chest starts hurting. And it's something they're putting in the seasoning. They're breaking in and they're putting something in the food. And I'm thinking, oh, it's me. No, my body's good. It's not me. They're putting something in the food, they're putting something in the seasonings, and then they're trying to make me think something's just wrong with me. I understand the stress. And now I do understand that stress can cause the same thing, but I don't know if now it's triggered because of that and it's awakening those feelings up again. But I have a hard time believing that that was just my own personal body reaction. I feel like something evoked it, like it was a poison that was there. And now my body's kind of has those triggers and can feel it either when they're putting it in the food or doing something to it, or like when I start stressing out. It's like it has like a memory where it, but I just don't feel like it's normal. I don't feel like it's me. I don't feel like it's my normal chemistry. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm just like, why would these people be so interested in putting something in my stuff and hurting me? It's like, wow, just because I had an opinion, just because I said something one day and you researched me that hard, you knew about me that well, like it's just crazy to me. It's like, I don't know, it just it's very strange. And then like I remember when me and my friend were riding in my car and downtown, and these people, they were men and they were like dressed in I feel like it was white, and they were from another culture and they were like yelling something at us. I'm like, are they talking to us? Why are they talking to us? Why are they picking us out? Because is it because we're black? But then it's like it be tripping me out because these are the same people who are quick to say that they're black or dark skinned, and I'm like, I'm not trying to start no problem, okay? I'm trying to really sort it out. I want better understanding of like what's going on, what's really going on. It's like, am I only good when I'm used for the same cause that you're fighting for? Like when we're talking about religion and color and like promote us as minorities type thing. But as soon as I start telling the truth about what's happening to me, if you're part of the demographics that's doing to me, now I'm a target. Now I'm somebody you gotta bring down. I'm not a normal person anymore. I'm not a human anymore. I'm somebody that you gotta, do something to or harm or hurt. Like I don't understand why I can't express what I'm going through and say who is taking me through it at the time. If it's a specific race or culture, it's like I feel like they bringing their whole tribe after me. Like I'm being targeted by them, and I'm like, to me, that's radical. And it's like, oh, you're racist. That's radical. And then it's like, oh, well, now I have a phobia because of what's been happening to me. Oh, you're whatever they call that, like phobia. Well, it's based off of real experiences. It's not based off of just looking at you, not seeing anything happen, and just saying, yeah, this is what I feel about you, but I've never seen it, felt it, heard it, anything. This is based off of real experience. And then I get called like a racist or, like I said, targeted. And like, I feel like it sucks because I feel like I'm dealing with like a very radical group of people who is like, do not mind doing the most, basically. And it's like, I cannot hold back just because of that, because like I care about my life, period. So I don't know. And it's like everywhere I'm going, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like the grocery stores I'm going to, they're now the managers. Every grocery store I'm going to, they're now the managers. I go to one grocery store, they're the managers. Say, okay, whatever. As long as y'all aren't gang stalking me, and they have gang stalked me at these places before. Calling out my real name. How do you know my real name? Most people don't even have that name. Seriously. And then like over the intercom. And then like you could only know by listening to by certain things. There's no way. And also, I go to the other grocery store. Now that manager, head manager, it seems like they're that culture. And I'm not saying anything's bad about it. I just like, it's kind of triggering some of my paranoia issues. And then I go to a different store. These are all different stores now, different names. And they're the manager at that store also. These are all stores that I go to. Over time, I've seen all of them turn into managers of that culture. That, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. And also, I'll tell you something else. At some of those places, things that I like, they will get them out of the store. Like if I go for something, that's why they be watching. They'll either take it out the store or when I get there, they'll only have one left. And I never buy anything when it's only one left. Most of the time I don't because I have a paranoia that, oh, you might have did something to that and you left that on the shelf and then like, oh, nobody else bought it or everybody else was fine. It was just that one person. So I don't like to buy that last one. And a lot of times they'll do that. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if they're doing that or that's real or what's going on there. But I could pass this up all day looking at the groceries, and then as soon as I buy it, it's like the next time I come, they're all gone. Or everything that I want, there's only one left, or they're all gone, or they don't, whatever. So I'm just like, I want a grocery basket where like people can't see what I'm getting. And I don't even think that would stop it because the cameras and then the receipts, like I feel like okay, yesterday I went to Walmart and there's like a bank at the Walmart right there. So I'm at the checkout and the bank is like right here where they could see. There was nobody at the bank. As soon as I got to my checkout, all three of them ran to the front of the bank like that they were waiting on people. There were no people there to wait on at the bank, but they could all see what I was putting in my groceries. And I did say something, and that's why people try to act like I'm crazy. Because I'm like, oh wow, they all three came to the front. Oh, that's amazing. There's not a, how did they even know to come to the front? There's not even anybody to service. But as soon as I get here to start checking out my groceries, three people of this same culture run up and start watching me put stuff in the bag. So I'm saying this out loud because it's like I don't really want to be like bullied or treated a certain way or felt like I'm being kind of like harassed. So that's why I say stuff out loud. I try not to be direct, but I still try to say, what I see. because it's not right. It's like I don't know if I'm meant to be feeling threatened by it, or like the reason why I feel slightly threatened by it is because I feel like you don't eat any of the food I eat. So why are you trying to pay attention to what I'm eating? When I leave the grocery store, when I'm watching, I never see any other workers getting no groceries from. I've talked about this before, getting groceries from there, right? Like, don't y'all get a percentage off? Then at one of the grocery stores that I go to, Kroger's the one I go to two different ones. One that I go to, the main one that I always go to, they was like telling me, oh, 3 people died. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, one thing is when I'm shopping for groceries, I don't want to hear about 3 people dying. And so I'm checking out my groceries and stuff, and one of the workers is talking about, oh yeah, so and so, yeah, girl, she died, she passed away. I'm like, and I'm a little nosy, so I'm like, what do y'all, what y'all talking about? Like a worker died? And they're like, yeah, she died, and another one died, not too long ago, a year ago, she was working here. I'm like, are they even old? And they're like, no, they're not in there. I was like, these people's like in their 40s and stuff. I'm like, was it the same one that was shopping here? Those two that were shopping here, did they die? Like, that's what I was wanting to know. Because I'm like, people be setting people up, like watching what you're getting and then putting something. I be feeling that way. And so I'm like, it was just suspicious to me that, like, they were saying 3 workers that weren't that old had, like, died. And the reason why I thought that was weird is because, like, I feel like sometimes they be trying to set me up with stuff on the shelf. Like that ice cream I used to buy, all the lids was damn near peeled off and ice cream falling on the side. And I'm like, no, that don't make sense. And then one of the other managers, one of the white something looking managers, I don't know what he is, but I was asking about the tortillas, and I was coming specifically for that, and then he was like, it was like he ran straight into the bakery area. Like, I'm like, he never goes in the bakery area, but it's like it seems like he knows what I came here for, and he's trying to talk to them and try to put something in my tortilla. They're like, oh, it'll be ready in like 15 minutes. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to. And the reason why is because when I used to work at this other job, everybody had conspired to get these things that I like. I think they're called papayas. I don't know. They're like this Mexican thing, and it looks like a flatbread, and they put some stuff in it. And so everybody was kind of like whispering, and they were ordering in Spanish and stuff like that. And I was like, "Oh, y'all ordering that? Can I get one? Like, I'll pay or whatever like that." And they were like, "Oh no, we already ordered. Everybody already ordered." So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Why wouldn't y'all include me if y'all ordered and y'all got everybody one but me, and y'all know that I like those? That's weird. And so they got like 10 of them or whatever like that. Everybody took one off the top. Everybody took one, and then at the end there was one left. And I was like, oh, there's an extra one left. I guess this one's for me. And so I get that one, and I take a bite into it, and it tasted like fucking soap. I swear to God. It tastes like somebody put Dawn soap in it. And I was embarrassed at first, like I was gonna just pretend and like, but some told me absolutely not. Spit it out. I spit it out in front of them. I was like, I spit it out and I was like, ugh. And then I just threw it away. So they had ordered just enough for everybody, but told me there wasn't enough. And they did it so that I could get the last one. And the last one was the one that was infected with the soap or whatever they put in it. So people been playing with people's food, and that's witchcraft. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that y'all would go that far to do that to me. That's really fucking rude. And I see how y'all are now. But I think they was listening to my conversations at home through the phone, and they was mad at me because there was this one old lady there that everybody calls mama. And it's this one old Hispanic lady. And one time I seen her go in the restroom, and it was like she was changing something, maybe like female stuff. And she was in there for a second. I walked in, and I started using the restroom. And as I walked in the stall, she was walking out, and she walked straight out, and she didn't wash her hands at all. But she was the main one who would always offer people food. She'd be like, "Oh, you want banana? Oh, you want this? You want that?" And this one little Hispanic dude and this black dude would always be like, not bringing their food. And so they would be like, "Yeah." And I'm like, that lady, that old lady be going in the bathroom doing stuff and she don't wash her hands. And then she offer people food. I'm like, okay. So I think that's why they was mad at me, because at home they was listening to my conversations and I be talking shit and I be talking out loud and talking, just thinking things out and thinking things through. And I think they heard me say that and he was offended by it. So they was like, we gonna get her back because she didn't tell me, but I didn't know what to say and I didn't want him to feel bad. And so I think I told somebody, but I think they just wanted to get me back because I knew. And I was just like, well, it was too late because we was in the lunchroom when it happened. And I was like, damn, I can't just tell him, nah, right now, like, oh, don't eat that. Like, what am I supposed to do? You didn't see her wash her hands anyway when she started making eating her food. So I don't know, shoot. But I just feel like people be doing stuff with people food. And then I told y'all about the one chicken place I went to, and the people was calling them on the phone. And they, as soon as I walked in, they was calling them on the phone. And I'm like, okay, can you take my order? Because he was already at the window. Like, I'm in the building. The window's right here. He's taking my order. Somebody called. He's on his phone. He's talking. I'm like, okay, can the person right here take my order? And you move out the way? And he was like not letting them. And then so I was like, okay, because I'm already thinking in my head, oh, this is a setup. Somebody trying to set me up. So he finally gets off the phone and I say, okay, can I get some mashed potatoes? Can I get this? Can I get that? And then he's like, oh yeah, we can get that for you, but we gotta go get it from the bag. None of these are fresh. And it was like piles of mashed potatoes, cartons already, piles of the other stuff already, piles of the other stuff. And I'm like, none of those are, so I said, none of those are fresh right there. And he's like, no. And so I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter, just give it to me anyway. And so I took the ones that were I could see that were already there. I ate it and it was perfectly fine. I didn't get sick. Nothing was wrong with it. So I've been wondering to this day, why did he need to go get something from the bag? What was he trying to get from the bag? Like, nah, you don't need to get nothing from the bag. The last time the lady, one of the first YouTube videos I made, one of them, one of the last time the lady told me she had to go get something, it wasn't enough. I didn't throw up. I was using the restroom all day long, and I didn't even have my car. I was working on getting my car fixed, so I was in the streets waiting until they had got my car fixed in the neighborhood because I was there. And I had to run to every restroom. I've never used a restroom around there at a gas station. I had to go to every restroom for like every 5 minutes. I was using the restroom. The lady poisoned me. And guess what? One of those people from the culture I'm talking about worked there. There was the head person. They had hired a black woman to be the cook, which I've never seen. Usually it's a Hispanic woman. And so I'm like, oh, that's different. That's really unique. I never seen that. And so she was like, yeah, you're gonna like this and blah blah. So I was so pissed off. The next day I said, oh, I'm going up there and I'm gonna say something to that lady and I'm probably gonna call the police. That lady tried to poison me and I'm calling the FDA too. The lady poisoned me for sure. I ate that food and I was using the restroom all day. I hadn't eaten nothing else. And I know it was her. I was getting ready to drive up there to confront the situation. They had shut the whole place down. I already talked about this before. They had shut the place down already. The lady was gone. She wasn't working there no more. And they didn't have that cafe open no more. Now you tell me how they knew that I was on my way and that I was going to talk about that, because that's the impression that it gave me. It gave me the impression that they already knew that I was on my way and that I was going to make a complaint with the FDA, with the store person who had hired her. All that vanished before I could get there and talk about it. So all of this is a part of my, and so much more. I can go on and on, but all of this is a part of my paranoia and PTSD of why I think this is happening. I feel like I call it a silent war. I feel like it's a silent war where people are secretly doing stuff to food and secretly getting into places and positions so they could specifically do stuff to certain people and certain food and certain products that they're watching people get. Okay? And I thought it was real serious because Megan Thee Stallion was advertising one time, and yeah, why is she doing that? Was advertising one time. Oh yeah, if you take a picture of your receipt or you turn in your receipt, then you'll get money for this. Why the hell would I want to turn in my receipt for some money of my groceries, showing everybody what groceries I'm getting out? If you're doing it on YouTube, I understand that because you might be doing it for reasons that I'm talking about because of the paranoia. But it's like, also, you got to be careful. Like, why does somebody want to know everything? See, it could be safe and it can be risky. Either way, you might as well do what you want to do. But you see what I'm saying, how it could be safe and it can be risky at the same time. You're showing everybody everything that you're getting, putting it on a receipt, putting it on a list. People know your specific location. People can change the products. I've already told y'all about this, from the same brand, but somehow this one's made different. It's the exact same thing. Why is there onions cut up in this one? And I go to the next store and it's not onions cut up in that one. I'm not crazy. I'm just telling you what the truth about what I've observed. What's going on? If this was black people doing this, if this was African people doing this, if this was Asian people doing this, I would say the same thing. I'm not discriminating against anybody. I am just saying what it is, what I've observed, who the people are that I'm seeing doing it. Now, it's all types of people poisoning people. Black people poisoning people, all type of people poisoning people. I can say that my people have poisoned me and tried to poison me here and there, certain people. I'm not going to pretend that my people haven't done that because I'm black. I guess that's important though to some races. And maybe one day I'll understand better, but to not say something bad about your own race, even if your own race is doing something bad. I'm thinking to myself, well, who else should be saying it? Because as soon as somebody else says it, you're going to be offended by that. No, the truth is, whoever says it, you're going to be offended by it. It doesn't matter who says it. So yeah, I literally feel like it's just like, I feel like for some people who feel gang stalked and they might be going through that food situation thing, scared to go get food from certain places and stuff, because like if somebody's gonna pay somebody to do something to me, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, we'll pay you this much if you do this to this person. I don't know how far a person will go. And I'm like, if they do this to me, then what, how many other people do they do it to? Yeah. I feel like you know what? If it's not a silent war, it's a silent battle. It's a secret battle, but to the extent of it and what it is makes it a war to me because it's when you're messing with somebody's food, that's a big thing. That's trying to change the chemistry of somebody's body. That's illegal. You can't do that. You can't put things in people's food and in people's house and in people's seasoning that is meant to harm them. You know the level that I'm talking about. So, I mean, if you think I've like just gone way too far with like, oh, it's a war, it's a silent war, like, yeah, let me know. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to change my opinion. Honestly, I feel like I feel that way for a reason. And also, like I said, the Bible talks about it. It talks about people being poisoned. And oh, one person had a lot of words to say about a person that was trying to poison them in the Bible. And I mean, it was very deep. Like the vengeance was so severe for trying to poison a person that I was like, wow, like I want to get that scripture and put it like on the refrigerator, put it on the wall, put it in the grocery stores. But yeah, I feel like it's a silent war. And I feel so bad and I'm so sorry for the people that are a part of the culture and part of some of the demographics that I'm talking about that, feel like in me expressing this is targeting them. Like I feel so bad for those people, but it's like it's not that. It's just the simple fact that I have to tell the truth and I have to tell my truth and you have to let people tell their truth. I can't get mad at a person because they tell me an experience they had with a black person that was a female with curly hair. I can't like be biased and discriminate against them if that's honestly their truth and they're being honest about it. I can't do that. That's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So for the people who feel offended because they happen to be a part of that same demographic, like racially, religiously, culturally, I'm very um I empathize with that. I understand that, but I'm not going to let anything stop me from expressing the truth and what needs to be heard because there are people that are experiencing this. I know definitely from my race because I'm that race, and maybe from other races, I'm pretty sure. And there's just people that are dying from certain things that are actually probably what they think they are dying from. And this is based off of my last video about the 3 poisonings that gang stalkers use to harass people and do things. I feel like, yes, what I'm experiencing has to be for some reason. If I'm going through it, then, I need to talk about it. I can possibly help somebody else. I just can't believe that a person would do that. I can't believe that that's what was happening to me. As far as people breaking into the house, I know that for sure. But all the locks are changed, and it's different now. It's gonna be different because I'm not gonna deal with it anymore. I didn't realize that the neighbors probably had keys from the old houses, and I mean from the old neighbors, and I didn't think that was something to worry about. I did probably, but other people think differently. Oh, nobody has the key and they didn't give this key. People do that. Yes, they do. And you don't know who was a part of building this house. It could have been a neighbor next door, and they have the keys, and they just have access to your house and stuff like that. And it's like with the grocery stores, I can't see the people that are working in the distribution center. And there's just a lot of weird things that I don't understand. Like um the cans, the soda cans. One day I was literally buying soda, and I get this soda, and something literally just tells me, "Oh, look under the soda." So I look under the soda, the canned soda, and there's like this dot. And I'm like, it was about the same time a lot of this culture started owning gas stations. And I'm like, why is there a dot under the soda? Like, that's so weird. And so it paranoid me. I'm like, okay, so now there's dots under the soda. And like, what do you need to keep up with it? I don't understand. Why are there colored dots under the soda water? Like, would that not paranoid somebody if they did not know what that was? Like, there's 24 in a pack or 12 in a pack. Why do you need to put colored dots at the bottom of it? I don't know, but it just paranoids me. And then it was like the timing. I guess that's the system that they use, wherever they come from or whatever it is. I would just wish that somebody would explain to me what it is. And I've heard a lot of weird rumors also, like what people think that it is. So I don't know. I have no idea. It's just stuff I've never experienced before in my life that is happening as I live in this house. There was something in this house that had my eyes red. It was something in this house that had my friend, who calls me his roommates, eyes red. Not my best friend, of course, but yeah. So his eyes were jet red. My eyes were jet red. It was so bad that I had to leave this house and go live somewhere else. There was weird smells in here, and I was starting to feel really weak. So I go to the hospital because I could barely walk up the stairs. That's how weak I was feeling. And they're like, oh, and I lost like 20 pounds, like in a day or two. I had just met my goal that I wanted to gain weight. And all of a sudden I lost it. The scale said 140 pounds. I was checking it every day. And then the next day I got on the scale and it said like 110. I was like, what? There's no way. How's that possible? So I don't know what happened, but I went to the hospital and they were just like telling me, "Oh, your electrolytes look really good. Your blood is good. Everything looks really good." And I'm like, "Okay." So that scares me because something clearly felt wrong. But I don't know. I feel like God was like giving me a message telling me that sometimes it's just the environment that you're in and you need to get out of that place. Like once you get fresh air from whatever's in that house, then you're always better. You do better. But sometimes wherever you're at, there's something in there. You got to get out of there. So whatever they're putting in there, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. People putting sachets in this house and putting chemicals in the food. Like I never would have really thought about it. Changing products, okay, like people are like, oh, that's so dramatic. Okay, well, what about them sardines? They were beautiful, they looked good, the can was fine. Then those dots showed up on the can, just like the dots showed up on the rice. Every rice except for the basmati rice. And yeah, like, oh, these are cheaper sardines. Like, okay, let me open a can. Yeah, the skin's peeled off of them. What happened to them? These sardines look fucking sick. Oh, quit being that way. You're so paranoid. Why don't you be a normal person for once? What do you mean? Okay, I guess. Let me see. I'm eating them. Okay, I guess. Eating them. Wake up and I got a fucking eye that looks like a fucking beehive fucking stung the shit out of me. Like, hey, what's wrong with me? Was it that Candy Grand Prix girl she was talking about? Bed bugs. Now I'm fucking itching. Now I'm totally fucking lost. Buying flea shit, all type shit. Bitch, we don't even got animals in the house. Next thing you know, I'm sleeping here, sleeping there. Is it something not clean? What I'm vacuuming, I'm cleaning. What the fuck? Anything. Wake up, my lips swollen. I'm like, what the fuck? Man, God said, man, what have you been doing that you haven't been doing? I said, eating them sardines. And I've been complaining about them sardines too, saying that they're suspicious. Oh yeah, let me try to get that out of my diet then, since that's the newest thing, and those didn't look right anyway. I was just trying to be the normal, unparanoid person, even though I could tell something was wrong with it based on prior experiences. So I stopped eating it, and yeah, oh wow, I'm normal again. No allergic reaction. I don't even get allergic reactions, but ever since I moved into this house, a lot of strange things have been happening. So I just wonder why. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's insane. And the nightmares. Let's not even talk about the nightmares. That's a whole nother video. Oh, that's a whole nother video. I could live anywhere else except for these two places, that place and this place, and I have horrible nightmares here in that place from a long time ago when I was a kid. Everywhere else, because I've lived in a lot of different places because of my situation, and I've been able to stay places 2 years, 3 years, this and that, but I haven't really had nightmares. But over here, treacherous. And when I was a little kid, I used to have treacherous ones at that house that I used to live at also. What the fuck is that? What is that? Why can I go to all these other places and live here and live there? No nightmares, peaceful sleep for 2 years, 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Uh, then I get here and I'm having nightmares every fucking day damn there. And when I was a kid over at that house, having nightmares all the time over there. Somebody's doing something in those places or around those places. That's like it's not adding up. Something's not right. There's some type of connection. There's something to it. These people trying to poison me. These people trying to do something fucked up to me. These people monitoring me highly has something to do with it as well. It has something to do with it. It has something to do with them damn nightmares. I guarantee you. And it's like not no just lightly. Whatever they're doing, it has to be heavy, extensive stuff. They're fully focused, binoculars, timing, tracking. Something about it is very wicked, and God don't like it. I'll tell you that much. And it's giving me nightmares and showing me a lot of vivid, crazy shit. Waking me up, making my body like just, and I know if I get the fuck out of here, it's gonna go away. Because that's what happened in the last place. Once I got the fuck out of there, I ain't have nightmares no more. So, and then when God be showing me certain stuff and warning me about certain things, also in some of these visions, like it's taking time for me to understand some of them and see them clearly for what they are, and sometimes putting them together like puzzle pieces, and getting the messages that I'm supposed to get out of them. And it's like, yeah. Sometimes I get annoyed because I think that people are purposely trying to see what messages I'm getting at nighttime, and so they want me to wake up and talk about what I seen. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm creating fucking movie scripts for their asses and shit on a daily basis. Nah. Sometimes I keep some of the horrible shit to me. I mean, to myself, just because I don't want them to think that they're gonna be feasting off of me with whatever the fuck they trying to send my way. And I definitely ain't gonna tell them all the good ones. Shit, hell no. Anyway, so that's it basically. Yeah, I hope it's just a paranoia. And no, I don't believe that you can talk something into life if it's not gonna fucking happen. You can't make me something I am if it's not meant for me for it to happen. You're not gonna sit here and make me fucking gay if I'm not gonna be gay, no matter how much you say she's gay, she's gay, she's gay. It's not gonna fucking happen. So it's like, if it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. Quit saying that because somebody had a vision, seen something, and saw something that's why it's gonna happen. No, it's not. It only happens if somebody was actually planning that shit out, or it was already something like that going on. Ain't that damn powerful. And it's not something that I'm causing. It's not something that I want to happen. Power is when it's something you want to happen, that you desire, and is usually on a higher positive vibration, and that happens. That's power. Not, oh, I had a bad dream and apprehension, and guess what? That shit actually happened. I mean, to me, it's not really like that type of power. It's just like something else. You can see shit, but that's not the real power. It's just seeing shit's a power, but not like that power. The real power, which is about like these positive connections, not no negative shit. And what these negative people and narcs want to do is use what they consider power in that type of way, in some type of negative way. And to the positive people, that ain't power. That's just bullshit. Narcs, narcissism, whatever you want to call that bullshit, where people only care about their damn selves and nobody else. But yeah, um, and then you don't want to go on talking about everything you see because you got these psychopaths who literally study you and watch you and want to know everything you see. And sometimes they're like, "Oh, we want you to be right, so we're gonna make that come to life," or we want that to happen, so you want to buy me. Nah, this is just all stuff that I've already seen going on. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't think this shit up in my head. Why would I think somebody poisoning me up in my fucking head? That sounds fucking stupid. And it's not something that was an intrusive thought either. No, this is shit I was observing and seeing and feeling, not an intrusive thought. So please don't go out there and get it twisted. And it's not based off of delusion and paranoia as much as, I feel like I have to say. So anyway, that's all I want to talk about is the things that I feel like people should watch out for. I think it's a pretty smart thing. Real wicked though. Like, yeah, man, come on now. Like in an imaginary world, I buy out all the stores, I buy out all the gas stations, my whole damn tribe. And guess what? You MFers gotta depend on my people now. Because I'm in charge of that store and I'm in charge of those groceries. Y'all better know how to call the FDA. And y'all better know some numbers, important numbers to call. And you better hope that I'm not on the other line. I'm not on the other side when you call. Yeah, it's me again. I am the manager. Type shit. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, bye.